Hello and welcome back to the Squirrel Heed YouTube channel. And today what I'm going to do, or tonight I should say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a bit of a review of FIFA 16, my thoughts about it, the positives, negatives and everything in between as well. Just some thoughts about the game. Moving on as it is, obviously, because we're coming into FIFA 17, got closed beta for FIFA 17 coming, which I've got for the 18th of August. Not sure if I'm allowed to film any of it or anything like that. I don't know what. It's beta, but anything that I find out, like, I don't really know. I've never done a closed beta for any game before, so I'll figure all that shite out and hopefully maybe do some reporting for you as well. But let's crack into FIFA 16. Now, there's a lot riding on FIFA 16 coming in after FIFA 15 and the troubles that it had, especially in the Ultimate Team game. Now, Ultimate Team in FIFA 15 had a lot of problems, especially early on. A lot of disconnecting without, like, either player, disconnecting online, stuff like that, and people getting losses, things getting wiped, full leagues getting wiped. So you're doing an online season, and then it crashes, and then it wipes your season. I mean, stuff like that. So you're thinking FIFA 16 is going to, it's going to tie that one up quite nicely. And it did, for me personally, it did get rid of that. I didn't have any disconnects that gave me losses. I think maybe the odd one, but nothing untoward, nothing on like a regular basis, like every single game I've been playing or anything like that. It was quite good on that front. The actual connections and stuff like that for most games were pretty good in terms of not disconnecting. The problem that I've got with like Ultimate Team, even online seasons, pro clubs as well, they're all guilty of it, is lag. Internet in the UK, I'm going by the internet's providers of the UK anyway. I don't know what America's like, and I don't know what the rest of the world is like, but BT internet, so I got 52 megabyte a second download, about 60 megabyte upload. It gives me a pretty damn good connection. It's £29 a month. Why, in this day and age, with internet stuff like that, and especially, like, you can go back a couple of years when you're spending, like, boatloads on, like, Sky Broadband and stuff like that when it came out, and it was pretty shit. But, like, we've got connections now where you can get pretty damn good connections, pretty goddamn good speeds, and yet we're still coming up against things like lag. And I just don't understand how we can be doing that. Now, one thing that I do like about Ultimate Team is that you can see, right as you're about to go into your game with whoever you come up against, you're going to have like 3 green bars. You got two for orange, so it's not the best connection, and 1 for red, I think. Now, I've taken it upon myself these days because obviously looking forward to doing like FIFA 17. I certainly hope it's a feature that they keep in FIFA 17. Is I will not play against players that have less than 3 bars, the green connection quality, because it's fucking pointless most of the time. The amount of lag and problems that you end up coming up against is just unreal, and it almost seems like, and I know everybody probably like suffers with it, or if you don't suffer with it, then you'll probably just be like, oh, you're just complaining about fucking shit. Well, it's all I'm saying is from my experience is that I've had games, and pretty recently as well, where it's lagging like hell, lagging like hell. Well, when I have the ball in the opposition half, soon as they turn it over, fluid, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, then my defense could pick it up, and it starts lagging. Then as soon as they pick it up again, fluid. I don't understand what's going on with that sort of thing. How can we have, in a day and age of how technology is, how internet and everything is, how accessible it all is, how can we still live in an age of gaming where lag still exists? It shouldn't happen. I certainly know from my point of view, it isn't my connections. It really isn't my connections. I know it's not my connections. So I don't understand. I still firmly believe if you have a terrible connection, and you know you have a terrible connection, you should not be allowed to play online. And I've heard other people say this in the past as well, is that you shouldn't be allowed to play online if you have a terrible connection. You just shouldn't. It ruins the game for everybody else. It's not fun. It might be fun for you who's learned to play with a connection that's like sending an email of Windows 95 while it does all of its like sort of noises and shit like that. It ain't fun for everybody else. It's fucking shit. sort your connections out. And that actually, for me, as I was saying about the Ultimate Team, giving you the option of looking at what the latency connection is between you and your opponent, why can't it do that for stuff like online seasons? Online seasons, I find it a lot of fun. Getting, like, taking, say, a Liverpool side or whatever sort of side. I think I did it with England for a bit, and that was shit because they were shit. But, like, a lot of those games, you get put up against whoever. It just says we're finding you a player and blah 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 blah. It doesn't tell you what kind of connection they have, and it's really really fucking annoying when you get into a game that is just like it's like say it starts here and then it's like anyway. That's my small little rant about connections. Please give us some more options, please, so we can see people's connections, so we know that we're not going to be wasting the standard 15 minutes, which can be extended to 25 depending on lag. I'd rather not waste that time, and I could invest it somewhere else. That'd be really nice. Thank you. Moving on to the actual gameplay itself. Now, one thing that really annoyed me, it grated me quite a bit, was I don't know if anybody else did. This year I couldn't master finesse shots. Last year I could on FIFA 15. They had a pretty standard swerve on the ball. You hold R1 or RB on Xbox, whatever console you're playing on, shoot, and you can get a pretty nice swerve on it. I was good with them with Sturridge, Coutinho, like those types of players. I was very, very good at doing them with them. This year, came in. I don't know if I've scored a finesse shot outside the box. I think I've scored about maybe two inside the box. Like, and I'm talking like 6 yards out. So if I'd have missed them, it'd be fucking embarrassing. So yes, I think the way they did finesse this year was a bit confusing. Very, very weird. Like, say I would actually I would hold the controller towards the ball, like towards the goal, sorry, and it would actually swing outwards. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, guys, what's going on? Can we just not keep things the same as they were from the year before? In terms of shooting, anyway, one thing I am looking forward to in FIFA 17 is that it looks like, from gameplay I've seen online, it looks like that power shots look like a fucking thunder shot. Look like an absolute fucking bolt of lightning right at the get, which is really good, because I found in FIFA 16 that doing power shots, unless it was coming off a volley coming at you from a certain angle, getting power on shots was just, it didn't happen at all. And I was really quite... It makes all of your shots look a little bit limp-wristed, look like you've got just fucking fluffy boots on or something like that. It didn't look very nice. Whereas FIFA 15 had a good blend of shots where you had like softer shots, placed shots, harder shots that were like, it was like a missile coming at you. That's what I'm hoping to return in the next game as well. I've never been one into skills, so I can't really complain about skills. I'm more about passing and moving and stuff like that with my game. So passing and moving is much more my game. Passing, I didn't really have a great deal of problems with this year. I loved the driven pass. Apparently that was a feature for years, but I didn't ever notice it. But the driven pass using the R1 trigger, R1 button and X button was absolute class, game changer. You can split an entire team in half, and that was really, really good. So that's outfield stuff. Now we move on to my other problem, which was selecting players. Now, what I mean by selecting players is when I'm actually on the pitch and I'm in defence or I don't have the ball and trying to select a player that's nearest to the ball so I can go and intercept. And for whatever reason, and I'm pretty sure most people will have run into it, is when you try and select your player and it will choose every single player apart from the one that you actually want to choose. It will choose every which way apart from the one that you actually want. And it's really annoying. It's quite frustrating, because then the only time it lets you select the person is when they've already gotten into your box or they've already unleashed a hell of a shot and it's going to go in. That was really annoying. Like, there's got to be some way, and I know you can use the right joystick as well to choose players a bit more accurately. Even at times that hasn't worked, and that's what I find really annoying. I will come on to another point of why I think that is in a little bit after I've talked about the second one, which is goalkeepers. Goalkeepers annoy the fuck out of me now, and I'm talking like, obviously, I've been playing as being a Liverpool fan. I've played as Mignolet in goal. So I know that he's going to be pretty shit most of the time, but he's got one hell of a throw, and I love that. The other thing, though, and I don't understand why it is why is it that if they come to a certain angle, if a player comes to a certain angle on either, so I'm going to say that the goals are either here, and your goalkeeper could be stood like here, or say the attacker is coming down this side here. He's just coming into this little area here, and your goalkeeper could be stood there. He could be stood on the fucking bench, because it doesn't matter, because that ball's going in. That ball is going in no matter what. You could put up... He could have just designed a brick wall in that goal and stood there and been admiring it. Doesn't matter. That ball is going in no matter what. It's an absolute... And this is a weakness that I've had. I've played with Manuel Neuer right the way down to Danny Ward for Liverpool, who's probably the lowest rated goalkeeper I've played with, 54 rated on this game, I believe. You know, I mean, when you played with, like, who is, you know, statistically on FIFA known as the world's best goalkeeper, personally I would actually say it's David De Gea. When you look at Manuel Neuer and right the way down to Danny Ward in goal, not being able to say things like that, you know that there's an issue there. It doesn't seem to matter, and I've been able to do it as well to opposition. I've been able to do it. Go down that little area as long as you've got someone with pace. So for us right now, I've been experimenting with Sadio Mane, Sturridge, Markovic, all those types of guys. I can, and they're not like the highest, especially Markovic. He's not the highest quality guy, but he does have a hell of a lot of pace. I can do that, and I can come up against I think Team of the Year Neuer, 3 goals. 3 goals against their goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong. They had like Aubameyang, Team of the Year Aubameyang or whatever it was, and he scored quite a lot against us. But this is what I mean. Like, it's just that is such a weakness that shouldn't be there, because it is possible if you watch football and you see shots like that. I'll take even Suarez against us the other day, Barcelona v Liverpool, and he had a shot against Mignolet. Now in FIFA, that goal would have gone in, but Mignolet got to it, which surprised me, actually. But that's what I'm saying. It's like these people actually need to be looking at football, what is actually possible, because anything is possible in football. It doesn't mean that every single time. There are going to be instances where people will be like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I've saved every one of my shots at that side of the goal, or I've saved every single shot. I've never conceded a goal. Like, that's cool, mate, and well done if that is true. I'm just going by my experience. This is my review of everything that I feel is going wrong with FIFA 16, I should say. So that's just another thing with the goalkeepers. Other thing with goalkeepers is corners. Corners is ridiculous. Like, if you aren't swinging that ball out, like if you're doing an out-swinging corner or an in-swinging corner, if that goes over the penalty spot into that keeper's area, 99.9% of the time, goalkeeper's ball. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if I'm playing against, like, Ter Stegen, not the tallest goalkeeper, and I'm playing with Peter Crouch, who has quite clearly in the gameplay got to the ball with a header, but because it's the goalkeeping area, he would actually, like, in the gameplay animation, put his hands through Peter Crouch's head, and he comes away with the ball. What the fuck? What the fuck? Goalkeepers aren't immortal, and they are not. I just don't understand what it is, FIFA. Like, why? Why is it that, like, goalkeepers are pretty much invincible to things like that? There's very rare occasions, like do you know how I mainly score from corners? I'll swing a corner in, I will header it out with one of my defenders. So normally Sacco and Skirtle in this game go up into corners. I will header it out, edge of the box, Alberto Moreno, smash it in, and it's a pretty spectacular goal when I do it. That's it. It's a very rare occasion I will actually score with, like, a headed shot or a shooting shot directly from a corner, and it is mainly because, and I can swing it out, like, further than the penalty spot and stuff like that as well. It's just ridiculous, really. It's just a ridiculous thing. Hopefully again, I'm hoping for much more realism in FIFA 17. I'm hoping they've actually like sat and watched football games, because it's not like we haven't had enough of them with the Premier League, all the competitions, Champions League, Europa League, Cups, every single league that's in the world as well, the Euros, Copa America. There's been plenty of football to watch. I'm hoping that they've been studying just how football is actually played. That is the main thing. Most of us, now I will admit there will be a couple of like YouTube guys and stuff like that that play FIFA that maybe don't necessarily watch football. I watch it every week. I watch every team. I watch every game as much as I can. I'm not one of those that I will just watch Liverpool games. I'm obviously more invested in Liverpool games and stuff like that. But I will try and watch as much as I can. So I've watched Championship football this weekend. I've watched the not the Premier League. I've watched obviously club friendly games. I haven't just watched our club friendly games either. I'm just not going to report on them because why would I? It's just friendly games and stuff like that. Obviously the Community Shield and stuff like that as well. Watching as much of it as I can, all of the Euros, the Copa America. I like to watch football, and I know how games are played, and I know how games should look, how players react, how defenders react. Now, obviously, we've got the blessing of being Liverpool, and we can go from being an absolutely solid defensive unit, threatening attack, to being a complete fucking shit show defense and a blunt attack. And we can do that in a space of a day, as we've seen in the last couple of days. I know how things can go when you're having a good game, when you're having a bad game. And FIFA at the moment doesn't do that, or it doesn't allow you to do that. And that comes on to my next point, which is the momentum system. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that don't believe the momentum system exists. I didn't used to believe it existed. I used to think it was just, well, these people are just playing shit, surely. But at that point in time, and I think that was maybe 2 years ago, I wasn't playing a great deal of FIFA, to be honest with you. Whereas this year, I think I've racked up 500 games on FIFA, excluding career modes and stuff like that. That's between online seasons and Ultimate Team. So I have a lot more experience now of not scripting, but momentum for sure. Like, I've always believed with FIFA, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree as well, FIFA should literally be, I select a team or I put a team together. Another guy puts a team together, selects his team, everything like that, puts his players together. We go head to head and we see who's the better player with those sets of players. And it's fun. It shouldn't be the case where, and I've had it go in my favour as well, like when I go on I've had some ridiculous win streaks. I've had some ridiculous losing streaks as well. And I do not change the way I play. I have different ways of playing against certain opposition. So if I know I'm coming up against a certain set of players, I can change how I'm going to approach the game in any way. Like I can just, right, if I know I'm coming up, if I've got a pretty slow team, now obviously not the actual Liverpool team right now, because we do have some pace in likes of Mane and Markovic, but on the FIFA game, we don't really have a lot of pace. The extent of our pace comes from Daniel Sturridge. So I know that I'm going to have to pack my midfield. So what I would normally do is I would do like Emre Can, Milner, Henderson, Coutinho, and then I go two up top with Origi and Sturridge, or Benteke and Sturridge. That obviously leaves you quite exposed on the flanks. Now, if I'm coming up against someone that has a lot of pace, and it normally tends to be like, say, if I'm coming up against like a Man United, so Depay, Martial, very, very pacey guys. If I'm coming up against those guys, I won't play defensive, I'll play balanced, but I'll play possession football with high pressure. Play possession football with high pressure means that I can try and keep possession a lot more. I'm balanced, so I'm not overloading the attack, but I'm not also parking the bus and leaving ourselves to take up a lot of pressure and invite shots on ourselves. But it also means that I've got a chance of retaining possession, passing, making them get frustrated, commit those fast people forward, and then what I can try and do is hopefully look for a long ball or pass through the team, and that's how I would play. There's different ways of playing against different opposition. what doesn't go in your favor is, and I don't know why this momentum system or whatever they don't want to recognize it as. They say, oh, there's no momentum system in our team, you know, it's anything like that. There shouldn't be a momentum system. And I know I think they justify it by they wanting to make it a much more competitive game. It should be competitive anyway. There's that many players of FIFA. There is a level of game for everybody. There has to be. Right from people that are beginners to people that are a bit more high level. I'm not saying which one I would put myself in, because I'm not that. I don't think I'm the greatest FIFA player of all time. No way. No way. Not a chance. I'm not that type of player. I just enjoy the game, and I think I play pretty decent football on it. It just sometimes doesn't work out. And sometimes it does. It just means that it should just be a fair shout between me and my team, you and your team, and that's all it should be. There shouldn't have to be game mechanics, like everyone, like, and I think this is another thing that just literally came on my head as well. Like, so I've been spanked a couple of times, like get like 4-0, right, and it'll be like the 80th minute. They'll have scored every shot they've took, so I'll have had like 12 shots, 8 on target, none gone in. They'll have had 4 shots, 4 goals, 4 on target, obviously. Maybe throwing a fucking own goal in there just for shits and giggles. And for the last 10 minutes of the game, I can bring it back 4-2. Why would you do that? Why? It doesn't happen in real life. It doesn't happen in real life. You can have some really, really shit games, and that's fine because you've had a shit day, and that's pretty cool. But when you've set your team up very well, and then you can't select your players, your defenders are running out the way. The fucking thing that when you play ultra attacking or all out attack, and say if you're playing a high line and they get it over your defense is running back. The first thing you want is your goalkeeper to stay where he is. What does he try and do half the time? He fucking comes running out, and I'm like, whoa! I didn't even ask for you to come out. What do you do? And then they loop it over, goal, 5-0, whatever. It could be anything. Why? If I'm not asking my players to do stuff, why are they doing stuff? Why? I'm not asking you to predict how I would do stuff. If I want my goalkeeper to come out, I'll ask him to come out. If I want him to stay there, I won't do anything. How does that not make sense to the guys at EA? How can you be doing that? Like, it's just not right. It really just isn't right, and it just spoils it for everybody because you now have less control over how your games go. Like, they suck you back in when they put the momentum in your favour, and you're like, oh, I'm smashing this team 5-0, 6-0, whatever. Yeah, I'm on a 6-game winning streak, and then bang, car crash, gone. Now you're on a losing streak, and it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. I don't know how obviously they win though, because we still buy the fucking game every year. We still invest money into their shit transfer market, which is another thing actually I will come on to in just a second. We still invest money into their transfer market, buying packs and stuff like that. In fact, I'm going to come on to it now. Now, I've got 2 things with the transfer market on FIFA, right? You have the unobtainable, apart from those that happen to pack them, which very, very well done. Highest player I've managed to pack is Iron Robin. Highest player I managed to pack was Robin after a couple of packs. And it was one of the special packs as well where you were like guaranteed to have high-rated players or whatever. Or not guaranteed, but you were going to have good players anyway. I've never gotten anywhere near. I've never packed Suarez, never packed Messi, never packed Ronaldo, anything like that. You've got the unobtainable Suarez, Messi, Neymar and Ronaldo on Ultimate Team. If you want to go and buy them, standard cards, normally, I don't know, what they were on PS4. I think last time I looked, you could buy Messi for about 3.5 million coins. Ronaldo, quite a bit more. And then same with Suarez, about 1 million, something like that. And unless you buy stacks of packs and you've got like a trust fund of money just set aside for FIFA, or more power to you. Some of us don't. We do the best with what we've got, and that's all we can do. You know, some of us aren't in the position where we can just go out and buy all these different types of players. Now, the one thing way around that was the coin sellers. And, you know, coin sellers were pretty reasonable at some points. Like, you could buy a pretty good, decent amount of coins for, you know, nowhere near as much money as you would spend in packs. No way. And then, obviously, you're spending that money in packs, and you're not guaranteed to get high-rated players. And I've opened plenty of premium gold packs that have had, like, one gold rare player that's pretty shit. Had a couple of silvers in there as well, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It's meant to be a gold pack. I didn't open a fucking silver pack. And then you've got, like, so many ridiculous prices that people were thinking, well, yeah, coin sellers is the only way that they're going to be able to get anything. And then obviously you've got EA banning people that were buying coins, so we just avoided that shit this year. And just did the best we could with packs, did the best with, like, any spare little bits of money that we might have had. Not too much, because, you know, we've got fucking bills to pay and stuff like that, so I'm not going to blow a fucking stack load of money on packs and points and stuff like that. And the FIFA point system is bullshit as well. Like, if they've got such a problem, and this is another thing, this is how it all ties in. Having FIFA points, not a problem. Buying packs, great, not a problem. I think that the packs are wrongly priced. I think having someone have to spend, so if you want 2,000 points for, like, or what they call a 100k pack, and you want 2,000 points, and that's £32 over here for one. Like, I think you get 2,400 points. For one pack, that's £32. That's fucking ridiculous. Be realistic. We've already bought the game. We're already giving you that revenue of buying your game, pre-ordering the game, buying the game, everything like that. And then you want people to repeatedly spend. There's obviously the ones that you can get that are like 70 odd quid or something like that. That set of points. Never ever would touch that set of points. Never. Never. How anybody justifies, unless you're obviously in the business and, like, you're getting paid to do YouTube videos for FIFA and stuff like that, great, that's ace. Or even if you don't have to, if you're in a position where you don't have to pay for your FIFA packs and you can get given them onto your account, and you're big enough to have done that, more power to you. But those of us that, like, we're sat, like, trying to do stuff here, and, like, that we're trying to make things exciting and stuff like that. And I know I haven't done any Ultimate Team videos this year because by the time I started doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, the markets were dead, and there was no point in doing it. It was going to take too much time to actually get the series I wanted to do out of the way. I might as well just waited for FIFA 17, which is what I've done. The coin sellers was a very good alternative until the bans started happening, and people are saying that the bans didn't really happen a great deal. There were a couple of people I knew who had warnings and stuff like that. I had a warning in the past on FIFA 15, lost my account on FIFA 15 as well at one point because I overloaded it with coins all at once. That's all it was. So I lost my account on FIFA 15, got this account, and I'm not risking losing it. The way that FIFA and EA would get around that is allow us to buy coins on FIFA instead of just allowing us to buy points. Because points are alright. If you want to do pack openings, great. That's cool. And you want to do the, get stack loads of players and have the, oh, I've opened a pack and I've managed to get, like, Ibra, Robin, Hazard in the same fucking pack. And I'm just like, fuck you. I think I just allow us to buy coins on FIFA, because for us to build teams, and I'm not going to give away what I'm planning on doing in FIFA 17, but for us to build the teams that we want to build, or do squad building things like that, or whatever we want to do, you need coins, because you can't just rely on having packs, because you're not going to get the players that you want in. Everybody has a set of players in their mind. Even I do right now, of players I want for next year for, like, a Premier League team, or a French team, or a Spanish team. I have players in mind that I would like to go get. Allow us to buy coins at a reasonable price on FIFA itself. Otherwise, people are going to go to coin sellers again. That's just how it is. The point system with FIFA points is just shit. It's overpriced. It really is overpriced. You've probably got kids that are registered on, like, Xbox and PlayStation that have to have their parents' details registered onto their Xboxes and that may get in trouble with their parents and stuff like that, because they're going to rinse bank accounts dry because they say, oh, well, I want this player, but I can't. Oh, well, I'm going to have to go buy some points. Bang, buy some points. Click. Doesn't even ask for confirmation. Just says, are you sure? Would you like to buy these points? Yes. Bang. Automatically done. You know, it's just, I don't really know what point I was making there. Just mainly, I would just love it if we could buy coins off FIFA, because then it'll give us the option. Give us the option. You allow us to earn really, really shit amounts of coins from doing tournaments and games and stuff like that. Allow us to buy the fucking coins as well, because that would make a lot more sense for any of us that are doing, like, that are going to do Road to Glories or anything like that next season. It would just make way more sense, and it would show that you're actually listening to your consumer, to your customer, to the people that are making channels out of your content as well. That's what it would show. Career mode hasn't changed a great deal. Hasn't changed a great deal in a few years. They introduced the training aspect. Okay, that's cool. Foot draft, didn't really play it. Played it a couple of times. But 15,000 coins, fuck off. I'm not, like, when they brought in the foot draft, they were like, oh, everybody's going to get the chance to experience, like, what it's like to play with Messi and Ronaldo and Suarez in the same team. And it's going to be fucking mint crack. Oh, yeah, of course it is. But then, like, it was made out to be like, oh, it's going to be free. That's the impression that it gave me anyway when it came out. And then it comes out, like, and I go on, and the first thing I go on is like, right, I'm going to go on foot draft, you know. And I go on foot draft, it's like, right, would you like to pay 300 points or 15,000 fucking coins? And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you being serious right now? Like, what? Seriously? So it's like, fuck off. That's just bullshit. That should be shit that, like, because you don't get to keep the players at the end of it. Like, if I pay that amount for a foot draft, I want to be able to, like, have, like, give me the fucking players. That'd be ace. That'd be awesome. I actually did, like, when I first heard of the foot draft, I thought that the impression they got, or the sentences they used to describe it, that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, you do a foot draft and, like, they, you know, you can luckily go, I got, like, Suarez and all that sort of stuff, and they would go into your club, and no, that was wishful thinking, you fucking bellend. So no, the foot draft thing, didn't use it. Saw some people on YouTube use it very, very well, but they probably got stacks of money as well to go besides making the fucking video as well. Career mode, as I said, player career mode, I am enjoying that a lot more. The training aspect in it as well, very, very cool. I like the player career mode, I do enjoy that. Pro clubs, full of wankers most of the time. Pro clubs is people that I always get dropped into games. People don't actually want to play football. They just want to, like, dribble and do skill moves around everybody else. And, like, look at me, I'm a goalkeeper, but I'm going to go score, and you're a knobhead. So pro clubs isn't something that I'm really interested in pursuing a great deal. What else have we got? I like the skill games. Skill games were pretty decent. I learned how to score with Benteke from everywhere, quite literally. I can score from probably an 18-degree angle from the goal, about outside the box as well. So that's pretty decent, considering we probably won't have Benteke next year, and I'll have to do it all again. There's going to be so many changes in FIFA 17, I feel, changes that need to happen, but I'll do a video on that once we get the closed beta. So, overall, FIFA 16, what would I give it? I'd give FIFA 16 a 5 out of 10. It hits some of the things, like, it did improve on a couple of things from FIFA 15, but there was too much bullshit in some other areas that it just, I don't think anyone's going to really remember FIFA 16 as a great game. Like, it wasn't even really a good game, it was barely average. I was tempted to give it a 4 out of 10, but it just wasn't, like, it's just not that great. I'm quite happy to put this game to bed pretty soon. Once FIFA 17 comes out, I'll probably fucking bin the thing. It's just not a very appealing game right now. One that I would quite happily get rid of, and probably will do pretty soon. So, that's my review of FIFA 16. Very, like, I didn't make any notes, so I've probably missed a couple of things, but I hit the main points that concerned me, I think, anyway. So let me know, what did you guys think of FIFA 16? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Am I wrong? Do you disagree? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, what you can do is if you let me know what you think is going to happen with FIFA 17, how good is that going to be? What is the main differences going to be with the Frostbite engine coming in to play, and all the different changes that are apparently happening, stuff with free kicks, set pieces and stuff like that, the shots and passing and everything like that. How do you think things are going to change? Is it going to be for the better, or is it going to make the game worse? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter as well. If you want, I've got a couple of you guys following me on Twitter as well. Thank you very much for that. At SquirrelHeed on Twitter. I'm also at SquirrelHeed on Instagram. I sometimes post on there. It's mainly either food or games, or it's just my face. So that's pretty much that. Anyway, if you've liked the video, please drop a like on the video. It really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel for a lot more content that is going to be coming up. Premier League games, obviously coming up. Cup games and stuff like that as well. We'll also have more gaming videos, more of the retro gaming stuff that I keep discovering, stuff that I played as a kid. It's all going to be coming. But anyway, like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later.